Hey, facility managers. At Graybar, we're not just one of the largest distributors of electrical and datacom parts in North America. We're your connection to help make your buildings smarter. We work with best-in-class manufacturers to supply products for wireless, security, renewable energy, lighting, and critical power solutions. And we have a network of integrators nationwide that can help make it work all together. So, the next time you're thinking about making your building smarter, think Graybar, and we'll help you get connected. Visit graybar.com/connected buildings to learn more.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
Here's the pitch by Pomerantz. A swing and a miss, and this ball game has come to an end. The Cubs led big early. A 3-hour, 2-minute game goes to the Cubs 9-1.
That's what it sounded like. That was the disappointing finish as the Cards fall to the Cubs tonight by a final of 9-1. It is the Extra Innings Show. The Extra Innings Show is presented by Graybar. Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. I'm Joe Pott from Busch Stadium. Glad you could join us. If you want to get in and comment, you can do so. 314-436-7900, or easier yet, jump on the socials. We're on YouTube, we're on X, we're on Facebook, and you can drop your comment right there. A couple of folks already have, and we appreciate that. Jeremy, I think, speaks for a lot of us. He just says, yet again, here we are. Isn't that the truth? It has felt like that many times this year. I think I've talked about it a lot, but it's the inconsistencies and the inconsistency of the team, whether it's lineup, whether it's pitching, whatever it's been. So you get a night like last night, real good, just about everything clicking. Not tonight, not a thing. Terry Moore adds pitching. Cards have a 3, maybe a 4 and 5 starter, but they need better. And that's the truth. So it says rough job for the new president of baseball operations, which would be, of course, Chaim Bloom. But it's already starting. So, and by that, I mean that job is already starting in compiling that. Derek Gould wrote a nice piece that hit just before the start of the game, or right after first pitch, perhaps, at STL Today in the Post-Dispatch. Part of their strategy is compiling arms. They are loading up to back up that bullpen and then ultimately back up that starting rotation. So they are doing that, and that is at the direction, certainly, of Chaim Bloom, because this is going to be his team. It's going to be his team immediately after the final out from, the last game of the regular season. So they are doing that. Let's go to the phone lines. Don, you're up first. Don, you're on KMOX.
How you doing, Mr. Joe?
Doing good.
Yeah, I know. I watched this game up to the 4th inning. These kind of games, I don't know how you can get into them. They didn't compete tonight. To me, the game was a disaster. And here's my comments on Palante and Miles Michaelis. They shouldn't start another game for the Cardinals this year. Neither one of them are good at all. They're batting practice pitchers. They serve up home runs. Palante can't figure it out there. He don't belong on the Cardinals starting rotation. And Gorman, he can't play third base. He looks lost over there. And Thomas J.C., I don't know what they see in him. I think he needs to be gone too. And I'm thinking that maybe the Wits will spend some money in the offseason. Maybe Chaim Bloom can do something with this roster. I'd appreciate if you make the comment on what I just said. I'll stay on the line.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Don. There's a couple of things there. Obviously, yes, Andre Palante, who was now he's 1-5 in his last 6 starts, so he has certainly kind of hit a wall here, and he's really struggling. We know about the struggles that has been most of the year for Miles Michaelis. From here, I don't know where they would go yet in order to kind of get some backing to this pitching staff as far as the rotation goes. I was trying to do a quick check here and see maybe what some of those candidates would be at Memphis. They've got a couple of guys at Memphis that if they were willing to maybe make some moves, they could do that if they're wanting to go do that. I don't know if they're wanting to go do that right now. I think they're trying to obviously plan for beyond 2026 as far as that goes. Yeah, you know what? Nolan Gorman has been disappointing to me too at third base specifically. Only because I think, we heard so much in the offseason that everyone assumed perhaps that Nolan Arenado was on his way out, and then Nolan Gorman was the heir apparent over there at third base. That was supposed to be his more natural position. And now, obviously, it's been a long time since he has played regularly at third base, certainly for the big league team. But yeah, he has struggled at third base. Thomas Saggese, I think he's another one of those guys that can play a lot of different places. I don't know that he excels necessarily defensively. He's been a good hitter in his career, certainly in his minor league career. And I think that maybe the up and down has hurt him this year as far as at the plate. He was hitting really well at the beginning of the year. Then they sent him down for a long time, and then it was up and down and up and down, and it's kind of been that way for a while. So I think that's some of what you're seeing there. So I appreciate the call, Don. As always, good to hear from you.
Thanks, Joe. Have a good night.
All right, a couple more comments here. Jeremy Hodge was asking about Donovan. So Donovan was scratched from the lineup tonight at just before we went on. So I don't know, a little more than an hour before the game with left groin tightness. They said it was precautionary. Oliver Marmol said in his post-game chat that it actually, had it been necessary, he could have played through it, but they don't want to be losing players, obviously, at this point in the season, and there was no reason to push through it tonight, so that's why you did not see Brendan Donovan. Chad the Chief just says another awful performance on national TV. That does stink when you think about it. One of the things when we first got started tonight, when the game first started, and I was thinking about, the game being on Fox, it looked good. Busch Stadium looked good. If I mentioned it, but 40,048, the announced crowd. That was just the fourth time this year that the Cardinals have announced better than 40,000 for a game here at Busch Stadium. It was opening day, and it was twice during the Dodgers series that they had better than 40,000 announced. So I was thinking, yeah, this looks great. A full Busch Stadium. Now, noted, asterisk on that, there was a lot of blue in the crowd, and that's fine. There were a lot of Cubs fans in the crowd, but it felt good to be at a full Busch Stadium. It felt much more like the old Busch Stadium. Unfortunately, it quickly turned as far as the product on the field went, and the Cards were down 6-0 after 2 innings, so it certainly didn't reflect well on national TV, and that is a shame because it looked good, at least off the bat. It looked like old Busch Stadium here with the nice crowd for a Cardinals-Cubs series. Unfortunately, there's a lot more Cubs, and then on the field, it was all Cubs tonight. 9-1, the final score. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll continue with more on the Extra Innings Show. Joe Pott with you from Busch Stadium as the Cards fall 9-1 to the Cubs. We'll come right back here on your home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Hi, I'm Gloria Liu, broker owner at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And for over 20 years, I've been getting my home sellers the most money for their home and selling faster than the average agent. So when you're ready to sell your home or have questions, call me.
And I'm Debbie Monterey. For years, I've been telling you about Gloria Liu and why you should call her. Gloria has solutions and programs for every seller because she understands that every situation is different. Call Gloria and get your free instant home valuation, choose from multiple cash offers, or sell with certainty this summer because Gloria will guarantee upfront and in writing to sell your home at 100% of market value, or she will pay the difference. Hey, the St. Louis market is shifting. Now is a great time to call and get to know Gloria Liu like I have. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 13th. An accredited state university, University of Maryland Global Campus, offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits towards a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chevy.
There's a big red barn where you say free. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn. With locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, But there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialists who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep, Gray Bar does that.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
There's Michael Busch, 1 out of 1, 1 out of 5 in the series.
That's who he's talking with right now is Dusty Blake.
Here's a swing and a long drive to right field. That ball is out of here. Busch has a double, a home run, and the Cubs lead 5-0 in the second inning.
That was the big blow in this one, certainly. The 3-run home run in the second. It turned into a 4-run inning for the Cubs as we welcome you back on the Extra Innings Show. It's presented by Gray Bar. Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. Joe Pott with you here on KMOX as well as on all of our socials. You can hit us up on the phone line, 314-436-7900. You can also jump on the socials. We are right there streaming live, and you can drop a comment, and I can see it just as Nick has done. Nick, you have, let's see, next year's rotation is going to be just as scary. You have a declining Gray. Libby will be a question mark for a full season. McGreevy will have a first full season. It's going to be volatile again. Well, you're assuming that there's no other moves to come, and I would not assume that there are no other moves to come. I also don't know why you'd be so down on Liberatore. I think he's only going to get better myself, and I think that he's learning how to be a starter full-time this year. So we've seen some ups and downs from Matthew Liberatore. And I mean, Sonny Gray's okay. It's the month of July. You've got to worry about it, seems like, with Sonny Gray. But again, that is not to say anything of any kind of additions that may come from the offseason and going into next season. So I think the rotation could look very, very different next year. And I don't know that we have a guess as to what it might look like. So I understand some of those questions and some of the hesitation on some of those guys. I just don't know that we know yet. And as I was saying before, again, I'll point you to a piece that Derek Gould wrote tonight came out right about first pitch, I think, or a little bit maybe after, but talking about kind of what their MO kind of is going to be, at least right now for Chaim Bloom and for this staff. It's going to be to, in some cases, stockpile some arms. And they did it with Alcala, who you'll see tomorrow, by the way, not necessarily in the game. He'll be with the Cardinals tomorrow. That's the expectation, is that he will have made it here. They had the locker ready for him, in fact, this afternoon, but he's expected to be activated. So someone's going to go back down to Memphis probably tomorrow. Maybe Graceffo, you might expect. Maybe it could even be a Fernandez or Munoz. I would think it would be maybe one of those guys. Fernandez pitching the 3 innings, really good, but they want the fresh arm in there. So we'll see what that is. Sam says, no, Palante cannot be in the rotation for next season. Again, I don't know what that looks like. I mean, from the way it is seeming to finish up this year, I would think that's probably accurate, that they would not go that direction. But again, I just don't think that you can make I don't know how educated of a guess we can make about what this rotation looks like next year. That's all I think. I think it could look very, very different. I'm not saying that some of these pieces won't be here. I would expect to see a Liberatore here and a McGreevy here, but we don't know. There's going to be some changes. I think there's going to be changes in lots of places. And, part of all of this is going to be sort of worked out as we get to the end of the season and as we come to that off season, and we finally get to hear more publicly from Chaim Bloom. And naturally right now we're not hearing publicly from Chaim Bloom, because this is still John Mozeliak's team. It is still John Mozeliak's job. Are there decisions being made behind the scenes by Chaim Bloom? Yes. And there's a lot of staff that has been brought in that has been to support what Chaim Bloom is going to do and wants to do. And that is all great. But it's naturally you're not going to hear from, the incoming president before the outgoing president is gone. And that's the way it's been, and that's the way it'll be through the end of October, certainly. What's on Deck is sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com. Tomorrow, it's an evening game. Again, if you have an original schedule from this year, from the spring, if you have your trusty, rusty pocket schedule, just make a little mark in there. 6:10 is the first pitch tomorrow. 5:15 is our pregame coverage here. Sonny Gray, 10-5 with a 4.2 ERA, is up against Shota Imanaga. He's 8-4 with a 3.12 ERA. That's coming up tomorrow night as the Cards and Cubs play the rubber game of this series on ESPN here from Busch Stadium. Appreciate everybody jumping in, the commenters, the callers that we got, and talking about this one, 9-1, the final. Tough one for the Redbirds tonight as they fall to the Cubs. Big thanks, as always, to the voice of the Cardinals, John Rooney, to Rick Horton, to Mike Claiborne, to Jim Jackson and Kyle Sixta, all upstairs here in the booth, and Johnny Camp right there he's in a little window right there. You can see him on our stream. Big thanks to him keeping us on time in line all evening long. Couldn't do it without him. I'm Joe Pott. We'll talk to you tomorrow. That pregame show's at 6:10. The first pitch is at 6:10. The pregame show's at 5:15. Until then, keep it here on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is Tom Ackerman. Like an MVP candidate, Chesterfield Fence